Welcome back inside WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball here from the USF Opening Weekend Invitational. I'm Jeremy Parks alongside Alex Drain after a prolonged break between games after Michigan took game one this morning by a final score of 4-3 over the North Carolina State Wolfpack. They are finally ready to go here in just a few minutes against the number 7 Arizona Wildcats. Drain, we had quite the break and maybe a little extra time to do some reading up on Arizona. What do you think the fans can expect to see in this one from the Wildcats, and how can Michigan counter such a strong team?
Well, the number one thing you have to say about the Wildcats is that this is a very veteran team. This is a team that absolutely is primed to make the College World Series for the first time in nearly a decade. It's been about 10 years of Arizona softball where they've been stuck in the Super Regionals, but this is a very strong squad poised to get back. They return just about everyone from last year's team. Taylor McQuillan, the starting pitcher, was on last year's team. 8 of the 9 starters in the lineup, hitters for Arizona, also returners. So this is a team that is very, very experienced, made the Super Regionals a year ago, so they bring with them a wealth of knowledge and high aspirations. For Michigan, in terms of facing Arizona, the number one thing you have to watch out for is the power. Arizona, under Mike Candria, has really been a team built on power hitting, and they were an excellent power hitting team a year ago, 7th in the NCAA in homers per game. Most notably, they've got 3 main big hitters who accounted for 49 of the 75 homers they had a year ago. Alyssa Palomino, Jesse Harper, and Deja Mulipola. Those 3 have to be careful. Michigan surrendered a homer in the early game off Megan Bobia, and it's going to be Alex Duraco starting this game, but given that both pitched about half and half, we'll probably see both pitchers, and they have to watch out for those hitters.
We'll go through your lineups here for the game today. A couple of changes for the Wolverines here from game number 1. Leading off and playing in center field, it'll be Natalie Peters. Batting second, moving up in the order from game 1. Playing over in left field will be Lexi Blair. Batting third, Faith Canfield over at second base. Batting fourth, Alex Subject, who got hit in her pinch hit appearance earlier this morning. She'll be the DP batting fourth in this game. Madison Uden will be handling duties over at third base, batting fifth. Batting sixth will be Haley Hoganrod over in right field. Batting seventh, Katie Alexander, the catcher. Taylor Bump will be batting eighth and playing first base. And then Natalia Rodriguez, who had some struggles in the field this morning, but did well enough to get Michigan by, is going to be batting ninth and playing shortstop. The lineup for the Arizona Wildcats, batting first and playing in center field, will be Alyssa Palomino Cardoza. Batting second and playing over at second base will be Reina Karenko. Batting third and playing at shortstop will be Jesse Harper, who was one of those 3 that you mentioned, Drain, the power danger hitters. Batting fourth will be Deja Mulipola, playing catcher position today. Batting fifth, Malia Martinez, who will be playing in the 5 spot at third base. Batting sixth, Riley Pierce, who will be at first base for the Wildcats. Batting sixth, Hillary Edior will be playing in right field. Batting eighth, Izzy Pacho will be the DP today. And batting ninth will be Ivy Davis in left field. It'll be McQuillan for Arizona, their star ace in the circle, going up against Alex Duraco, the true freshman from Michigan. Drain, what can you expect in the pitching matchup there today?
Well, McQuillan's an excellent pitcher, 1.68 ERA, and she was facing tremendous competition being in the Pac-12, facing teams like Oregon, Washington, UCLA on a regular basis. So this is a very experienced pitcher. She strikes out quite a bit, 287 strikeouts in 242 innings, also walks 82, so there will be opportunities for Michigan there. Alex Duraco, on the other hand, you can see why Michigan was so excited about her at media day. She pitched 3 perfect innings for the Wolverines, all with just a 1-run lead or in a deficit, and
6 strikeouts to boot. Yep.
6 strikeouts, including, I believe, 3 in 0-2 counts successively. Unfortunately, not all in 1 inning, but very, very impressive day for her. She looked almost eye-to-eye Megan Bobian in terms of just their impressiveness as pitchers. So she's got her work cut out for her, but it'll be a good test.
Michigan will play the role of away team here in this one. They are in the third base dugout, and they will lead it off here once we get underway in just a few moments. Again, this one was originally scheduled for 2:30. We're going to be first pitch at approximately 3:56 local time here in Tampa after a marathon game between NC State and Illinois State that at one point was 10-1 in favor of NC State headed into the top of the fifth, and then Illinois State came all the way back, made it a full 7-inning game, and it finished 10-9.
Well, NC State tried to do the classy thing and let their backups get some run and took Nestor out and almost threw the game away. Very, very strange one, but just about ready for this one.
All right, number 16-18 Michigan, number 7 Arizona on tap here on WCBN Sports. McQuillan is in the circle. She's done. Peters is stepping into the batter's box. We are just about underway here with game number 2 of Team 42's season, and the first pitch is fouled off back into the side netting.
Peters had a good day in the beginning contest. An odd one. She was 0 for 1 formally at the plate, but reached on a walk and then also had 2 hit by pitches, including 1 run scored off of that.
Game time temperature 81 degrees as the second pitch comes in on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. Count now 0-2 on Natalie Peters.
Peters was also the leadoff hitter in the first game in a lineup that's shuffled around quite a bit between game 1 and game 2.
And the 0-2 pitch, that one swung on and just got a piece of it down low. It was tailing towards the dirt, and that'll squirt its way back towards the side netting on the first base side. Count remains 0-2. Here on the leadoff hitter, Natalie Peters. McQuillan looks down. Gets the sign from Mulapola, and the 0-2. That one also swung on, this time golf foul. Back behind home plate. That'll get back into the main concourse area here at the USF softball stadium.
Right over by the Dippin' Dots tent. We got some of those in between the 2 games. Had Chick-fil-A for lunch and then
made
Dippin'
the wait
Dots
a little
as
better.
Dessert. Yeah.
Still an 0-2 count on Peters. As she gets another delivery. That one up high, check swing. The appeal down to third base. She did not go. So that'll be ball 1. It looked from this vantage point, Drain, you're more lined up with it, but it seemed to me like she probably went there.
Yeah, that was definitely borderline. Michigan fortunate to get a bit of a break there.
Nonetheless, the count 1-2. McQuillan delivers. That one just missing off the plate outside. Well placed, trying to draw a bite, couldn't get one, and the count will run even now to 2-2.
We saw Michigan have some lively at-bats against Nestor in the first game, and right now a strong one from Peters.
Another pitch, the 2-2, that one up high, the count now full 3-2.
Making McQuillan work.
And all ready to open the game, a 6-pitch at-bat so far. This will be number 7 coming down the pipe. McQuillan, foot to the rubber, lines in, delivers. That one just misses inside. That was a good pitch, but Natalie Peters will draw a 7-pitch walk to open this one up, and the Wolverines have their first base runner a lot earlier in this game than they did in game 1 this morning, Drain.
Gritty at-bat there from Natalie Peters to fall behind 0-2 and then battle her way back. And to draw a leadoff walk, and she's a danger on the base paths for opposing teams.
That's going to bring up Lexi Blair, who's moved up to the 2 spot in the lineup. The first pitch is up high for a ball.
Blair, a Florida native.
She showed some speed, dropping a bunt back in that first game this morning, was down the line before it even got touched by the third baseman.
Yeah, 1 for 3 with that bunt as her lone hit.
The 1-0, check swing, that one's high and outside as well. 2-0 to count.
McQuillan starting to struggle with the command, and she is prone to some walks. A bit of a watered-down Megan Betza type, strikeout walk. Not much of a contact pitcher.
Chance from the Michigan dugout. You might be able to pick those up on the natural sounds as the 2-0 comes. That one is swung on, fouled back into the backstop. 2-1.
Blair from Winter Garden, Florida, which is just about 15 miles west of Orlando.
Stadium is pretty much filled in now, close to capacity. As the 2-1 is dropped down for a bunt. Making the play is McQuillan with a fast turn, and she does get Lexi Blair just in time by a step over at first base. Peters will advance to second on the play.
That's a really good bunt, and almost beating it out was Blair. She moves the runner to second and puts a runner in scoring position for Canfield.
A sacrifice bunt for Lexi Blair. And Faith Canfield, who had some struggles this morning in game 1, trying to get in the hit column still. 0 for so far. And the first pitch to Canfield is swung on into the backstop. She did get hit.
Yep, 0 for 3 with a run. Had 2 fielders' choices and a line out to center along with the hit by pitch.
She stands in tall in the batter's box. McQuillan delivers the 0-1. Chop foul back behind her feet. 0-2.
Well, with Peters on second, a single could give Michigan an early lead.
Michigan struggled with runners in scoring position last game despite the win. Left the bases loaded 3 times in that game. As the 0-2 low and at about shin level there. Count runs 1 and 2. No wind to speak of out on the field. Florida sunshine beating down here in Michigan in the maize jerseys, or in the blue jerseys, I should say. The 1-2, that one's foul over towards the first base side. Coming over and making the play will be Pierce, as she ranged over towards her dugout on the first base side, and that'll be out number 2 in the inning. Just golfed that one over on the first base side, and Canfield remains hitless so far.
Little over aggressive on some of these pitches. Now Alex Subject, the DP, in an interesting spot in the lineup at the 4th slot.
And the first pitch to Subject is right at the letters over the plate for a called strike 1. She came in and got hit, I believe on the first pitch it was, of her pinch hit at bat earlier.
There was several first pitch hit by pitches.
And the 0-1, big cut taken there, but going right underneath it is Subject, and now again quickly 0-2. 3 for 4 in this inning so far. McQuillan has gotten ahead 0-2 on the Michigan hitters.
Pitch location's been pretty good.
And the 0-2 misses just outside. Tried to take a little bit off of that one. So the count now 1-2 on Subject. Middle infield is shaded back right on the part where the dirt meets the grass as the 1-2 comes. Check swing, that one was up high. The appeal down to first base, she did not go.
Big hole up the middle if Subject can find it. The second and short both shaded to the edges.
I believe that's Liz Hammerschmidt behind the plate making the calls here this afternoon. As a 2-2 pitch for McQuillan. That one's in the dirt. Runs up where it's smothered by Mulapola. And that'll bring the count full to 3-2.
Well, another good at-bat from the Wolverines, falling behind 0-2, then being patient enough to work back to a full count. That's how Peters got her walk.
The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Subject went right through that one. Tried to send it to the moon. Instead, she's back to the dugout. Michigan gets 1 runner on courtesy of a leadoff walk, but that'll do it in the top of the first. Michigan 0, Arizona 0. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball on the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, out comes Alex Storako. We get to see some of her. Saw her in the first game after she relieved Megan Bobian. Bobian was excellent through 3, and then the 4th, things went a little haywire with some tough defensive breaks. An error on Natalia Rodriguez and a home run off the glove of Lexi Blair. And when she had started to crack there in that 4th, she managed to get out of the inning, not after after surrendering 3 runs, though, so not unscathed. And then Carol Hutchins quickly made the hook. And in came Storako, who masterfully finished off that game. NC State's got some talented hitters, but this is a whole nother test for the true freshman from Frankfort, Illinois, suburb south of Chicago, just east of Joliet.
Again, for such a good pitcher, we talked about this on our podcast East of the Rockies earlier this week, how she might have gone unrecruited by equally large programs, reputable programs, just because of geographics. Not a lot of coaches headed out to Illinois to do scouting.
Well, every sport's got the blind spot. If you're a hockey player in New Mexico or a football player in Vermont, or in this case, softball in Illinois, it's always about where you are, and those regions just aren't as scouted.
So Storako steps into the circle. She's got Alyssa Palomino Cardoza in here for the first at bat of this game for Arizona, and the first pitch called strike.
Storako was very good at getting ahead of hitters in her 3 innings of work against NC State.
Mike Candria, the head coach over in the perch at third base, as the 0-1 pitch is high, 1-1.
Palomino Cardoza, definitely the best hitter on Arizona's team. The highest batting average by 20 points, highest on base by 40 points.
And the 1-1, that one is hit hard, deep, trailing back towards the wall and making the jump. Cannot get it as Haley Hoganrod. That one is gone. Home run, Arizona.
Just over the glove. Well, that's the power of Palomino Cardoza. She had 19 homers a year ago. And for a power pitcher with velocity like Storako, that's the danger.
And that is the second time that Michigan today has come close at the wall. This time it didn't hit the glove of Haley Hoganrod like it did for Lexi Blair in game 1, but nonetheless it just escapes her right at the short fence out in right field, right underneath the American flag out there. And just like that, 3 pitches in, and Arizona has a 1-0 lead. Storako right back to it now as she's got Raina Karenko at the plate. First pitch misses for a ball. You'll see now, after giving up the first run of her Michigan career, how Storako reacts.
Well, you got to shake it off.
And the 1-0. That one's going to miss low and outside, 2-0. That one a breaking ball, working in some of the off speed. As she's going to check the wristband, she looks over to Jennifer Brundage in the dugout. And she's got her 2-0 pitch, winds and delivers. That one a called strike. No, just missed. Looks pretty good to me from here, Drain, but maybe a hair outside.
Yeah, some tough ball calls on these corners, but
3-0 the count.
To be careful in the 3-0 count.
And that one goes up high. It's a 4-pitch walk. And Storako is a little uneasy here early.
Well, it's certainly not easy to get this kind of matchup in your first career start.
And that'll bring Jessie Harper to the plate, another one of those dangerous power hitters for Arizona, as she takes the first pitch called strike.
That's what Storako wants to do, get ahead of the hitters.
Wind starting to bluster a little bit here from left to right field as it comes across. The 0-1 pitch. That one is swung on and got a big piece of it, but foul. Tailing over towards the baseball field here behind us. Third base line and well over.
Harper, 18 homers a year ago. Doesn't draw a ton of walks, just 9 in a full season of action.
The 0-2, swing and a miss. First strikeout of the game for Alex Storako. She got her to chase up high and outside, and that'll put an out on the board and maybe a little comfort back on those shoulders.
Well, that's a good way to get some confidence back under you. And I mean, this is, Arizona's got a talented lineup all over, but the big hitters are definitely at the top.
That brings up Deja Mulipola First pitch misses away for ball one. Mulipola, the third horseman, if you will, of the apocalypse here for Arizona, the big power bats. The 1-0. That one misses outside. Looked like close to the corner from here.
Bit of a tight zone so far.
And it goes begging. Count is 2-0 on Mulipola. She's got a runner on first. And she hits it hard over towards center field, ranging in and making the grab in center there. For Michigan is Natalie Peters.
Well,
out number 2.
2 outs now and only a runner on first. If Storako can get through this first look at these excellent Arizona hitters with just 1 run surrendered, that's a win.
Not terrible.
But it's got to get 1 more out.
And that'll bring up Malia Martinez. Called strike on the first pitch, 0-1 with the heater.
This is where the drop-off from the big hitters to the rest of the team really is, because the rest of the team doesn't have a ton of power.
And the 0-1. Check swing, didn't go. Ball inside.
Martinez just 4 homers, 7 doubles in 58 games, and then you compare that to the 14 doubles, 18 homers of a Jesse Harper. Not the same pop as you get towards the bottom of the Arizona lineup.
And the 1-1. That one just misses high above the letters. Count goes to 2-1. 2 outs here. 1-0 the lead for Arizona after the leadoff home run here in the bottom of the first for Alyssa Palomino Cardoza. The 2-1. Misses up high and outside again. 3-1 now.
Well, Storaco's command was really good in the first game, and not sure if the fear of the big hitters causing her to nibble around the edges a bit.
She'll get a word from Katie Alexander, who comes out to hand the ball back personally with a couple words of encouragement. Three-1 pitch. Martinez going to sit back on this one. As it comes in, ball 4. Gone on the pitch was Palomino Cardoza. She takes second regardless, as it's a walk, a 5-pitch walk there. And now Arizona with runners on first and second with 2 outs here in the inning.
Didn't seem like terrible pitches. They weren't massively outside or anything, but just not as locked in so far.
And that's going to draw a meeting in the circle from Jennifer Brundage as she talks with Storako and Katie Alexander. The rest of the infield just slightly shaded outside of the circle, still behind them there. The true freshman, and really outside of those 3 innings of relief work, her first big performance of her college career. What a team for it to come against. Arizona, who finished last season 12th in the final rankings, but this season a preseason number 7. As you said, Drain, a team that's got all the pieces necessary to take it all the way to Oklahoma City this year. As that'll bring up Riley Pierce to the plate now as that meeting concludes in the circle. Storako trying to get out of trouble here in the bottom of the first. The first pitch misses low for ball 1.
Well, this is a matchup of new faces in and of itself. Riley Pierce, a 3-year player at Missouri who decided to transfer to Arizona. Odd choice to transfer after 3 seasons, but she's trying to be a missing piece for this Arizona team.
The 1-0 missed up high and outside, a spot that seems like Storako is kind of honed in on with her misses, and it's 2-0.
She fell behind Mulipola 2-0. It was a 4-pitch walk to Karanko.
And the 2-0. Again, up high. Storako just can't bring that release down quite enough to keep it in that zone level, so it's 3-0 now with runners on first and second, trying to avoid walking them full. You can pretty much guarantee that Pierce will sit back here, but we'll see with the 3-0 pitch. Right across the heart of the plate. Bat stays on the shoulder, 3-1.
That's what you want to see from Storako earlier in the counts, is those confident right over the heart of the plate pitches. Of course, that's the danger of what resulted in the 1 Arizona run, but definitely don't want to fall behind hitters.
The 3-1 from Storako. That one misses high and outside. So after a good get-me-over pitch, she goes right back to where she's been missing for a 5-pitch walk again. And now the bases are loaded. They've got Karenko on third, Martinez on second, and Pierce on first. And that'll bring up Hillary Edior to the plate, as the first pitch to Edior is just above the shoelaces there inside, 1-0. 2 outs here in the inning.
Edior is a senior who's never seen consistent time.
And the 1-0 is hit foul, ranging over from right field. Can Hoganrod make the grab? She can into the wall. Holy Hoganrod, what a play.
She snagged that and then slammed into the fence hard. I thought she might flip right over.
Sacrifice the body, Haley.
And that ends the inning. Big, big play there from Haley Hoganrod, and Storako wiggles out of the jam.
Indeed, with a little defensive help from her right fielder. The pride of Zeeland. She made a long run, I'd guess about 20 yards to come get that fly ball over on the foul line out there. And that'll get Michigan out at the bottom of the first inning with only 1 run surrendered to the Wildcats on the solo home run from the leadoff hitter, Alyssa Palomino Cardoza. We head to the top of the second. Your score, Arizona 1, Michigan nothing. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball on the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, when you look at this Michigan lineup, the one thing you can tell from these 2 games is that Carol Hutchins, number 1, has not decided on who the designated player is going to be. And number 2, she hasn't decided what the order is going to be, because these first 2 games we have seen vastly different lineups. We had Canfield in the 2 spot and Blair in the 8 spot in the first game. This one, Canfield now moved to 3, Blair up to 2. Gonzalez, who was the DP in the first game, has been switched out for Subject, who's moved up to 4. Uden slid down to 5th, so it's really a lot of shuffling going on. And of course, first DP Gonzalez, now Subject. You have to think perhaps later in the season we'll see some of the other freshmen, Overitis, Carson, Carasoni in that spot too.
Michigan's got Uden, Hoganrod, and Alexander 5, 6, 7 due up here in the top of the second as Maddie Uden steps to the plate. And the first pitch she takes inside, bit the edge for a called strike. Uden took a very hard pitch right into the rib cage back in that first game, got right up and headed over to first, but with the 0-1, she golfs that one over the glove of the second baseman and into center field for a base hit. Michigan's first hit of the game as it got over the glove of Karenko and out into shallow center field.
Well, Michigan needs consistent hitters to step up in big games, and Uden is a good candidate to do so after a breakout season. She was 1 for 3 in the early game with a hit by pitch as well. And now aboard to lead off the second. Michigan's got the leadoff runner on for the second straight inning.
That'll bring up Haley Hoganrod. First pitch, she took a moon cut at that one and missed 0-1 after making a fantastic defensive play to end the last half inning. Trying to put in some work on the offensive side at the plate here.
Hoganrod 1 for 3 in the first game, was pinch hit for by Hannah Carson, who struck out looking.
And the 0-1 check swing, the appeal down to first base says she did not go. It was another close one, but the count will go to 1-1.
Hoganrod single brought her an RBI, one of 3 Michigan players to pick up an RBI in that first contest. It was a clutch hit to make the score 3-2 at that point.
As McQuillan readies the 1-1. That one comes inside, called strike. She's been good so far this afternoon at getting that inside pitch called on those Michigan hitters, shading them back a little bit from the plate if they want to make contact. Otherwise, they'll get jammed up in there. 1-2 to Hoganrod. The pitch swung on, foul back into the backstop. Stays alive at 1-2.
Well, Hoganrod now has got the long blonde hair all to herself with the departed Taylor Swearingen. Once was mini-me's of each other.
The 1-2. That one bounces up in the dirt, and it's going to get away from Mulipola, and going to second is Uden. She took a big, healthy cut around second as well, as Mulipola had some trouble finding it. But she will scoot into second and stay there, advancing on the wild pitch.
Well, the one thing we can say is that Michigan's been fighting McQuillan, forcing good at-bats even when they strike out.
So the count 2-2. Swung on, fouled. Got a big cut of it, but a little late as it goes down the first base side, up over the netting and into the woods.
Just tucked itself over that netting. I thought it was going to bounce back into the field of play.
Some kids will chase that one down as McQuillan gets a fresh ball. The first chance for her to strand a runner in scoring position today. And the 2-2, big shot, as that one is skied over towards left field, ranging underneath it, and making the grab is Davis for out number 1 in the inning on a big golf sky shot there from Haley Hogenrod.
Now you want your hitters to take good swings, and that was a real solid cut after a quality at-bat, and still 2 more chances to bring Uden around and tie this game for Michigan in the top of the second.
That'll bring Katie Alexander to the plate. Still Madison Uden in scoring position on second base. Michigan down 1-0 here in the top of the second, as Alexander takes the first pitch outside from McQuillan.
Alexander 0 for 3 in the first one. A really well-hit ball into right center that was chased down for an out. Also a strikeout and a fielder's choice. She was pinch hit for, rather puzzlingly, by Subject in the 5th.
And the 1-0 is swung on, fouled back into the back net. 1-1. The Saline Slugger. Saline. As Morris Fabry, our old partner, would say, Saline, or saline, like eye drops. Alexander sits back on the 1-1, takes a big cut, and it's a foul tip into the glove for strike 2.
Little late on that swing. Taylor Bump on deck.
Uden with her foot to second base. McQuillan ready with the 1-2, winds and delivers. And that's a swing shot over towards foul territory, towards the right field line. And it's caught, and advancing on the throw is Uden to third. So it's a foul out over in right field territory. That's gathered in by Edie Orr. And then the throw not in time as Uden advances to third after the catch. So Michigan now with a runner on third and 2 outs here in the top of the second for Taylor Bump.
Well, another wild pitch could make things interesting.
Bump playing first base in this game for the Wolverines. And she takes a big cut on the first pitch and misses. 0-1.
Bump, the first baseman, took a walk and then had 2 strikeouts in the first game. 0 for 2 in that one.
McQuillan with the 0-1. That one misses just low. About shin level there on Bump. Over the plate, 1-1.
Now just about anything will bring the run in.
The 1-1. That one misses up high and outside for ball 2, 2-1. With 2 outs, Michigan trying to tie this game back up after a leadoff home run from Arizona in the bottom of the first. McQuillan moving quickly, the 2-1. Big cut, big miss again. That's the second big swing and miss in this at bat for Taylor Bump.
Well, Bump just hasn't been able to line up the timing.
As the 2-2 comes in, and a big swing and a big miss. Another strikeout swinging for the Wolverines as Bump goes down, and McQuillan gets out of her first mini jam of the game. The Wolverines strand a runner on third, but nothing else there as we remain Arizona 1, Michigan nothing. We head to the bottom of the second here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, now we get another look at Starocco, see how she comes back in this bottom of the second.
See how she settles in. Again, like you said, she got through really her first go at the biggest bats in the Arizona lineup with just 1 run given up. So she's going to face the 8, 9, and 1. She'll have Pacho, Davis, and then Palomino Cardoza here in the second, as she works on her warm-up pitches. How's the live chat looking there?
Pretty solid.
As always, feel free to engage with us on youtube.com/WCBN Sports. Feel free to comment in the live chat, drop any questions you have. We like to bring those at the half-inning breaks. And feel free to shout out on Twitter at WCBN Sports as well. That's where you'll get all our broadcast information for this weekend and all future weekends. As it looks like Pacho is about ready to step into the batter's box here to open up the bottom of the second inning. As Storako looks back to Coach Brundage, gets initial instructions to start the inning here. And she works quickly now with the first pitch. Called strike. That one caught the up outside corner. 0-1. The 0-1. Pacho got a big cut of that one. It's heading towards foul territory. Again, Hoganrod trying to make an all-star play. She made the slide, but it just got over a little bit further to the fence line than she could manage there. And the count will go to 0-2.
Well, this is a good position to be in if you are Storako, trying to get ahead of hitters to put them away. She had a lot of strikeouts in that first one.
The 0-2 pitch. Big cut and a big miss. That one was above the noggin there on Pacho, but she still thought she could get on it. And she will go down with a swinging K for the second strikeout of the game so far for Alex Storako. 3 pitches, 1 strikeout. And that'll bring up Ivy Davis, the 9-hitter, playing in left field. First pitch from Storako. That one just missing low with the fastball 1-0.
Ivy Davis didn't have a lot of success last season when she saw the field. 207 batting average in 39 games, 21 starts.
And the 1-0 is shot foul down the third base line as it gets past the dugout and hits the fence, careening directly back to Storako. How nifty is that?
Hit the just about the exact corner of where the fence begins to jut fully down the line. Got propelled right back where it started.
So 1-1 your count now. Storako to Davis. A check swing, she did go. Kind of ugly there, tried to hold up about halfway, but was well across that line as that ball was low and in the dirt, but gathered in there regardless. It's a swinging strike, 1-2 now. Storako looks down to Alexander, winds and delivers. That one misses up high and outside, 2-2.
Well, when she's missed, she's mostly been missing high today.
High and outside. Just trying to get that release point down. The 2-2. That one is hit hard over towards second base. Canfield with the easy grab and toss over to Bump for the out. Second out of the inning.
Yeah, right at Canfield. Lined up perfectly for that one. Now with 2 outs, an opportunity for Storako to get a quick inning, but it's not going to be easy given who is in the batter's box.
3 pitches in the first inning was all it took for Alyssa Palomino Cardoza to put Arizona up 1-0, and maybe understandably the first pitch there from Storako going way up high, and a rare pitch that gets by the glove of Katie Alexander into the backstop, 1-0.
Well, you can see how Palomino Cardoza generates her power. She's 5'10" and is able to use that very tall frame to generate a lot of swing speed and power.
And the 1-0 is a short chopper that's gathered in at first.
Oh!
And a play almost made. I guess they called Palomino Cardoza safe over at first. That looked like a rough call from me there, Drain.
Yeah.
It was gathered in there by Bump, who had Canfield coming over to make the grab at first, and I guess missing her by a half step. Not quite sure there. What should have been an easy 1-2-3 inning now is resulted in Palomino Cardoza on first base. I'm not sure how they're going to score that one. Let me know once you see it here. It is being scored by the Arizona Stat broadcast system.
Well, it was a weird one because of where it was. I mean, she was way out in front of it, so it was a soft tapper. I think Canfield might have been a little late to get, I don't know.
It looked like an out from here, but nonetheless, Karenko is at the plate. The first pitch was a ball as Storako delivers the 1-0. That one's up high, but cut at and missed, 1-1. Got an official ruling there from the Stat broadcast?
They call it a single. That'd be my call, too.
Okay.
I mean, credit Palomino Cardoza for getting down the line with the speed that she did.
The 1-1, low and outside. Plucked up there by Alexander. 2-1 the count now on Karenko, who had a walk in her first at bat back in the first inning.
When I initially saw the ball off the bat,
Karenko had a 4-pitch walk. She got all the way over to third but did not score. The 2-1, big cut and miss. Again, going up high and the bat going underneath, 2-2.
Yeah, I saw that ball off the bat of Palomino Cardoza. It certainly looked like an easy out, but she was able to really get down the line and make that a lot more uncomfortable than I think Bump was expecting.
The 2-2 pitch, running up to slap that one as it goes foul back into the back net. We stay at 2-2. Yeah, for a tall, strong player, Palomino Cardoza sure had some speed getting down the line there.
It allows you to get long strides.
As Storako brings the 2-2. That one on the breaking ball, right over the heart of the plate, called strike 3. Like a barn by the side of the road, down goes Karenko. So Palomino Cardoza getting on base results in nothing for Arizona as the first clean square comes for Alex Storako here in the bottom of the second. We head to the top of the third. Arizona 1, Michigan nothing. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball on the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. Jeremy Parks alongside Alex Drain. How about that, Drain?
That was a good strong inning there from Storako. She gets really soft contact off the bat of Palomino Cardoza this time and collects a pair of strikeouts. A decent hit ball by Davis, but right to where the defense had it played. So far she's been able to get through her 2 innings and keep Michigan in this game.
That's the first backwards K that I have on the books for either game for Storako. I believe all the other ones in game 1 came swinging. Check me if I'm wrong on your book there. Due up for Michigan here in the top of the third inning will be 9-1-2, Rodriguez, Peters, and Blair.
I have her second strikeout as a strikeout looking.
You did? Okay. So second strikeout looking at the career then there for Storako. All right. I'm liking these fast half innings here, these breaks. Trying to move things forward as the Florida Gators are going to be sitting in the outfield for what's going to be about 3 hours by the time they get to their game. That was supposed to start at 4:30 local time here, 5. And so Nat Rod is already at the plate here for Michigan. And McQuillan back in the circle as she offers the first one in a big cut for Natalia Rodriguez as she misses up high.
Yeah, no slapping there, swinging like she was trying to hit a homer. And certainly if Michigan can line up these pitches, they would hit him far.
The 0-1, misses low, 1-1 your count. McQuillan taking her time on this one as she looks down and delivers the 1-1, which misses high, maybe a hair outside. 2-1 now on Rodriguez.
Well, Rodriguez worked herself into a better count. Michigan's been very patient in these 2 games. The issue has been that they just haven't been able to get the good, strong contact.
The 2-1. That one is foul over down the first base side. Charging over are both the right fielder and second baseman. Nobody can make the play as it'll drop just shy of the Arizona dugout, 2-2.
Davis and Pierce both converging on the spot, but just couldn't snag it.
Be great for Michigan to get Rodriguez on base here in the leadoff as they head back to the top of the order after this. 2-2 is the count as McQuillan looks down, winds and delivers. That one a ball outside. 3-2. That one was heat all the way. A lot of heat from McQuillan as a pitcher.
Well,
definitely not as much of a spinner.
Rodriguez, it doesn't strike out a whole lot as a natural slap hitter, even though she hasn't been slapping much in this at-bat.
And the payoff pitch swung on and fouled back behind home plate off the green tin roof. We stay at 3-2. Rodriguez takes a little half step back in the box and another payoff pitch. Big cut, big miss, heater blown right by. And down goes Rodriguez with a fighting effort.
Yeah, Michigan been pretty aggressive in trying to hit for power so far against McQuillan and hasn't had a ton of success.
Third strikeout of the game for McQuillan. As we head back to the top of the order now with Natalie Peters.
Well, this is now the second time through the order, so Michigan has a better idea of what they're facing.
Peters had a whale of a first at bat, getting on base, drawing a walk. She takes the first pitch over the plate for a called strike one. Batter's box is almost all in the shade as the pitcher's circle's in the sun. Maybe a bit of a switch up for the eyes there as the 0-1 is hit hard over towards left field, but ranging underneath it to make the grab is Davis for out number 2. Peters got a little bit of power underneath it, but not enough, as that's a fly out to 7 for the second out of the inning.
Decent contact for Michigan there, just not where they wanted to put it.
And that will bring up Lexi Blair here. And the first pitch to Blair is a ball inside. Perhaps time for some two-out offense here. Blair can find herself onto a bag. As McQuillan looks down and delivers. Swung on, fouled back into the net. 1-1. On the true freshman starting your second game here for the Wolverines. Easy going stance there as she takes the 1-1 up high and inside for ball 2, 2-1.
Yeah, Michigan has gotten themselves into some decent counts. Yet to make strong contact.
Count is 2-1 on Blair. McQuillan winds and delivers. That one misses just low. Mulipola liked the location. She kind of nodded over to McQuillan after she caught that one, saying that's a good spot, just bring it up maybe an inch. And that's painting the zone, but it's 3-1 now on Blair. As McQuillan winds and delivers, and it's headed low, but digging underneath it to get a piece of it and back into the net is Blair. So now a full count, 3-2 with 2 outs. McQuillan trying to get a quick 1-2-3 inning here. Blair trying to extend the inning for Michigan. The payoff pitch. That's a ball inside. Good eye there from Lexi Blair as she will take first base.
Yeah, it's a really strong take and a good walk. And somebody you want on base in Lexi Blair. We'll see if Michigan gets aggressive in sending her.
Well, it really, is great that she can get on base, but Faith Canfield needs to get in the hit column here to start capitalizing on it. Still on the schneid. And she takes the first from McQuillan. Swinging a foul back into the concourse.
Out in front of that one.
2 outs with Blair on first here. Michigan down 1-0 in the top of the third against number 7 Arizona. As they get a fresh ball out to McQuillan, she steps to the rubber. The 0-1. That one bounces up in the dirt and into the chest protector of Mulipola, smothering it. now 1-1.
There's not a whole lot of reason not to send Blair, and you can try to make it a position where you could bring a runner around in just a single.
I had that one down as the 50th pitch of the afternoon here for McQuillan as the 1-1 is down low, swung on and missed, trying to steal second base and caught.
What a throw.
Out at second. That's a great throw from Mulipola down to Harper. It looks like the glove might have gotten Lexi Blair in the grill. She was down for just a minute. Tried to steal but caught, and that will end the inning for the Wolverines. They get the walk and nothing more. As we head to the bottom of the third, Arizona 1, Michigan nothing. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Blair didn't get a great jump, but because of her speed, that throw had to be on the right side of the base, and that's exactly where it was, and so the tag was applied directly to the face of Blair.
So that will wind up being a wash at bat for Faith Canfield, who will come back to lead off in the fourth for Michigan. As Alex Storako comes back out to the circle. She was cruising in the last inning of work against Arizona, trying to keep it up and keep her team close so that these Wolverine bats can hopefully wake up at some point here and start to strike on McQuillan.
Storako's had a tale of 2 innings, a bumpy first and a pretty confident second. Carol Hutchins talked at Media Day about wanting to develop a reliable number 2 option behind Bobby, and you can't give her that experience without letting her pitch in these kinds of big moments early in the season.
So for Arizona, it should be Harper, Mulipola, and Martinez. Heart of the order, 3, 4, 5. As Harper does step to the plate, first pitch is up high, misses for ball 1. She struck out swinging in her first at bat of the afternoon. And the 1-0 pitch misses low in the dirt towards the toes on Harper there, now 2-0.
Harper is one of the most dangerous hitters in the order with 18 homers a year ago and a 340 average.
And the 2-0 pitch from Storako. Tried to throw her the changer there and missing up high, 3-0. And the 3-0 pitch misses inside. 4-pitch walk to open up the inning as Storako could not find the strike zone there.
Now she's alternating between really good at-bats where everything's working and then at-bats where just nothing's really working.
Dangerous to be doing around these parts here with this lineup as Deja Mulipola will come to the plate. She had a fly out to center in her first at-bat. It's a called strike on the outside edge for 0-1. Jesse Harper standing on first base. Arizona with a 1-run lead, trying to add on to it here in the bottom of the third inning. The wind and deliver with the 0-1 way up high over the helmet on Mulipola there. 1-1. Storako looks down to Alexander with the 1-1 pitch. That one is swing hard past the diving glove of Natalia Rodriguez and out into left field where Lexi Blair gathers it in, and that'll be a base hit.
Not overly hard contact, but just well placed. Seeing eye single past the glove of Rodriguez.
Harper advances to second, so now runners on first and second to start the inning here for Arizona with none out, and Malia Martinez to the plate.
Well, on the bright side, Storako's past the more dangerous hitters in the Arizona lineup.
And the first pitch is up high, thinking about stealing third there maybe, showing a pretty healthy lead was Jesse Harper. Out of the crouch to chase her back to second was Katie Alexander.
Harper had 1 steal on 1 attempt last season, definitely not the type. Was anticipating a potential bunt.
Spinning that ball in her hand is Storako with the 1-0. That one misses. Didn't catch a piece of anybody, but it gets past Katie Alexander and back to the backstop, and so runners will advance to second and third on the play. Harper to third, Mulipola to second. And now 2 runners in scoring position with none out here. And Hutch coming out to the circle. That might be it for Storako. We'll see. Didn't see anyone warming up earlier, Drain. Although
yeah,
normally
looks just like a conversation right now.
Yeah, normally when Hutch heads out there, it's to pull the chain there. But it looks like Storako will actually stay in.
It's just interesting how this has alternated between really a strong inning and now back to a very shaky inning where the command has really been the issue for Storako.
Now trying to limit the damage here in a big jam. Runners on second and third with none out, down by a run right now. And although she's past the most dangerous hitters in the lineup, this Arizona lineup is deep. Maybe past the power, but they can all hit for average. As it's 2-0 on Malia Martinez. Storako misses low and inside on the breaking ball, 3-0. Nearing 50 pitches on the afternoon is Storako. The 3-0, that one misses high. And ball 4, a 4-pitch walk there to put on Malia Martinez. And now the pond is full of ducks here. First, second, and third. None out. And a ripe opportunity for Riley Pierce to start pouring it on here for Arizona, as Hutch will call time.
She's going to talk, and I think that will probably be the hook.
Looks like it might be. Or if we're maybe making some changes elsewhere. Don't see anybody coming out of the dugout yet. And now we see Megan Bobian with the glove up the steps, and she will take the rock from Storako, who gave it a good effort so far. She's going to be responsible for all 3 on the base pads, as Bobian will now try and work out of this jam here in the bottom of the third.
Well, the problem for Storako was all mental. I mean, it was the walks, because she surrendered 3 hits and 5 walks, and the walks were very different than the hits. I mean, the one hit was the homer. The other 2 was pretty standard contact. Another was soft contact. I mean, they were not, there was no sign of line drives. Otherwise, it was just the walks. And the problem was that the walks were not tough at bats. A lot of 4-pitch, 3-1 type walks there from Storako. And also, of course, the wild pitch here in this inning.
Faced 14 hitters. She's only given up 3 hits, but the walks were a problem. The stat line will stay incomplete until these 3 are off the base pads one way or another. Four walks on the card for Storako to go along with 3 strikeouts. As Megan Bobian has completed her quick warm-up, and she will now step in to try and get Michigan out of a big jam here in the bottom of the third inning.
Well, she's going to need some strikeouts.
Get some dap from Taylor Bump as she steps to the rubber, and she's got Riley Pierce up here. And the first pitch from Bobian to Pierce, that one is a called strike that catches that upper edge of the zone. Froze Pierce there. Good start for Bobian. The 0-1 pitch. That one just missed, I guess. 2-0. The 1-1, I should say. I think the scoreboard's got it wrong.
Yeah, the scoreboard's got it wrong. It's a 1-1 count.
Yeah, definitely went up with the arm on the first pitch there.
It's been a very tight zone from Hammerschmidt.
Yep, they do adjust now. The 1-1 pitch. That one is hit hard right towards second. Makes the tag and the throw over to first, so 1 run will score, but they say the tag was not made on the runner.
That's a tough play for Canfield.
They're appealing for the tag, but the first base umpire was right on top of it. I think he's going to say no. Hutch is going to be out to argue here. 1 run did cross the plate either way. The question is whether or not Martinez got tagged on the base paths by Canfield. And Hutch is going to plead her case here.
And now they're going to talk to the home plate umpire. I mean, it seemed like...
I think she got tagged. That was, from this viewpoint, what it looked like.
This has been not the greatest game for the first base umpire after that earlier ground ball as well. That was a controversial play. And
now they call her out. Okay. So Martinez was tagged out. Harper did score on the play. Mulipola did get over to third, but that's 2 big outs for the Wolverines to trade off for 1 run given up. And it's a great heads-up play by Faith Hanfield to get 2 outs there.
So if Beaubien can get this last out, Michigan will remain very much in things.
And that will bring up Edie Orr, who fouls it back on the first pitch, 0-1. Wild stuff there.
Edie Orr hit that arcing liner that Hogenrod tracked down last time around.
Hutch nice and metered there, pleading the case to get that out called.
It's not too often that you see the call get changed off just a coach arguing.
I mean, it's pretty rough if you're the first base umpire because you were right on top of it and then you elect to kind of overturn yourself. Not really true to your convictions there, but it plays in Michigan's favor. The 1-1 pitch, that one misses way high over the head of Edie Orr.
Well, you have to think in that kind of situation that more than likely both the third base and the home plate umpire were pretty adamant that that was an out to force an overturn like that.
So Mulipola on third, Edie Orr at the plate as she takes a big cut on 2-1. It's skied over towards right field, ranging over and making the grab is Haley Hogenrod. And a great job by Megan Beaubien to relieve Alex Storako out of that jam, only giving up 1 additional run in that frame. We head to the top of the 4th. It's Arizona 2, Michigan nothing. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, a bumpy go-around for Storako, but it'll be valuable learning experience. And as long as she can just locate her pitches, she should be all right, because the contact was not strong in any way outside of the 1 homer, and that's against one of the best sluggers in the country. So a lot to be happy about if you're Storako for today's total effort. But Beaubien's going to have to carry the weight the rest of the way, and Michigan hitters are going to have to step up. They've gotten base runners on in each of these innings, but just have not had success in bringing them around.
2 up for Michigan. It'll be Canfield, who was at bat when the last half inning ended, with Lexi Blair getting caught stealing at second. So it'll be Canfield, Subject, and Uden 3-4-5. Time for Michigan to put some runs on the board here, Dream.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity with some of your hitters that you want in these positions. I mean, Canfield and Uden are the 2 best hitters on the team, and not exactly sure why Alex Subject is batting 4th given her career history, but whatever Hutch sees in Subject, she feels pretty confident to put her right there smack dab in the middle of the order between 2 very good hitters. So you design the lineup to produce runs in this juncture. Now they just have to do it.
See if McQuillan can hold them at bay. Taylor McQuillan has been very good so far today. Only a few real opportunities for Michigan in terms of base runners. As Canfield steps back to the plate. She fell behind in the last at-bat, got bailed out by the Blair tag out. And again, still trying to get in the hit column here for the Wolverines. as Taylor McQuillan steps and delivers. It's a foul off the foot of Canfield that'll dribble down the third base side. Here we go, 2-5. I like that chant. As the 0-1 misses outside, count evens.
Looks like Grace Jelliman is the one leading the chants down in the dugout. She's inherited Aiden Falk's old number 2.
And the 1-1. That one a hard shot that just goes foul down the third base side.
Much better contact, but still a little out in front of it.
One and 2. As that one goes inside, nearly hit Canfield as she twisted out of the way.
Yeah, if she had kind of stuck the hip out a bit, might have.
Wolverines hitters have been safer in this one than they were in the last one. They got pegged 5 times by North Carolina State. Counts 2-2 on Canfield. That ball misses. That was a that was a good pitch there from Taylor McQuillan that just missed, apparently, allegedly.
It's been a tight zone all day from Hammerschmidt.
Full count, 3-2. As Canfield steps, the 3-2. That one chopped. Chasing is the shortstop, and hanging up just in time to make the grab is Harper.
Yeah, good job to track it back and haul it in again. Sort of an off-balance swing from Canfield, and McQuillan really hasn't done a lot of the off-speed. It's mostly all been the fastball today. But Michigan just still hasn't been able to generate those good at-bats that lead to hits.
That'll bring up Subject, who takes the first pitch for a called strike.
And when she's throwing it, McQuillan definitely has velocity.
The 0-1. That one hit foul. As again, it goes down the third base side. 0-2 really quickly now on Alex Subject. Also trying to get her first hit. She was hit in game 1 to get on base, but has not gotten herself there with the bat yet. The 0-2. Big swing and a miss up high. Got her to fish. Pulled the string, and that'll do it for Subject. Now 2 outs here quickly in the inning on Michigan. 3-pitch strikeout. That'll leave it up to Madison Uden to keep it going here.
Uden had a single her last time up and got over to third, but just was not able to come around to score.
And the first pitch is foul. That one lands right near Haley Hoganrod in the on-deck circle. As the sun here starting its descent for the evening and right into our eye line here on the Donaldson deck, as it's going to set near the first base line. The 0-1, big cut and a miss. 0-2.
Michigan hitters have been very interested in free swinging in this one.
Yeah, again, it's either kind of been full counts or quick strikeouts. The 0-2, and again, 3-pitch strikeout swinging. That one went right by Madison Uden. And that is a quick 1-2-3 inning for Taylor McQuillan and the Wildcats, and that'll send Megan Bobian back out to the circle for the bottom of the 4th. We head that way with Arizona leading over the Michigan Wolverines by a score of 2-0 here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball, the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, 5 strikeouts now for McQuillan, who's started to get in a bit of a groove.
There's only an 11-pitch inning there for McQuillan. Kind of innings you love to have as a pitcher, and the kind of innings that will frustrate the heck out of a side that's struggling to open up an offense that they know is there. It's just laying dormant. Due up for Arizona, it'll be Pacho, Davis, and Palomino Cardoza here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Plenty of time for Michigan to get back into this one, but again, with a heavy hitting team like Arizona, that 2-0 lead could balloon quickly, as it nearly did in the last inning of work for Arizona as they chased Storako out with a bases loaded, no out situation that Michigan drew a double play and then got one more out to end the inning, only giving up one run in the whole situation. So it's that run and the Palomino-Cardozo leadoff home run back in the first that are the difference. As Beaubien is into the circle, ready to be Beaubien. As Pacho steps up, takes the first pitch, check swing, they appeal down to first, say she did not go, although I pretty much doubt anything that first base umpire has to say at this point. 1-0, and the 1-0 pitch. Hard shot foul into the side netting on first base early on that one. 1-1 on Izzy Pacho. Beaubien gets a fresh one, checks the wristband, and she kicks and delivers with the 1-1. That one's low in the dirt where it's gathered up by Katie Alexander. It's now 2-1. Moving a little bit slower now, taking her time, checking the wristband again, does Beaubien. 2-1 as that one is up high. Getting just a piece of it there was Pacho as it goes up over the extended glove of Alexander to the backstop. 2-2. Just 10 pitches into the outing for Megan Beaubien. Came in, worked out of the jam, and now starting here in the bottom of the fourth. That shot on the 2-2 is hit well, but tailing just foul. The wind maybe helping push that one as it angled its way over into the bullpen area on the first base side.
Well, you can see the power that a lot of these Arizona hitters have on their foul balls.
The 2-2. That one is hard chopped over to Natalia Rodriguez at short, who makes a nice grab on the one hop and the quick throw over to bump for out number one here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Bit dangerous there in the double clutch, but able to get the out.
Round out to the shortstop there. Those ones are hard to judge. The difference between natural dirt and artificial and the spin that you got on that ball. So a good job by Natalia Rodriguez there. As that'll bring Ivy Davis to the plate as the first pitch misses low for a ball one. The 1-0. That one, a little knuckler that gets over towards Canfield. She makes the quick grab and not in time. Just couldn't get the handle to it.
Yeah, if she had fielded it perfectly clean, she would have made the play. But
it's a tough one. She played it. It had just a little bit of that bounce back and struggled to get her hand to it and get the throw over to Taylor Bumpet at first. So that'll put a runner on first here with one out for Arizona, and that'll bring the top of the lineup up with Alyssa Palomino-Cardozo. And the first pitch, a called strike there to Palomino. And the 0-1 catches the outside edge. Hit well there by Beaubien, now 0-2 quickly on the leadoff.
Well, this is where Megan wants her. Get out in front of the count. Now see if she can find the put-away pitch.
See if she's got it. The 0-2, that one hard slap and a big grab by Uden over at third. Throw back to first, not in time. Almost a highlight reel play. Still a damn good one there by Madison Uden. And she takes that hot glove over at the hot corner, grabs it right off the line.
Well, once again,
just made that throw a hair late over to first.
Even when they're not hitting homers, you can tell the big hitters on any given team by what they're doing on all of their at-bats, and Palomino-Cardozo tying that one up. And an absolute laser to Uden, a heads-up play.
That'll bring up Raina Karenko. Trying to produce some two-out offenses. They still have Ivy Davis on first, and the first pitch over the plate for a called strike one. The 0-1 pitch from Bobian. That one is a low looper in the dirt that's smothered up by Alexander. Thought about going for a half second to Davis, but not a whole lot gets by Katie Alexander behind the plate. That one no exception, and it's 1-1.
Alexander continuing to be stout behind the plate, allowed just the one wild pitch, which was behind the hitter.
The 1-1 misses. Maybe trying to check over on if Davis was going to steal. Looked similar-ish to a pitch out in that Katie Alexander had to come up and out of her stance to the left. 2-1. The 2-1. That one grounded over towards short. Handled by Rodriguez. Quick toss over the second, and that'll end the inning. Rodriguez has been much more sure-handed at short here in game number 2 as she records the final out of the inning. And we'll head to the top of the 5th with Michigan still looking to get a point up in the box. It is Arizona 2, Michigan nothing. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball here on the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. Jeremy Parks alongside Alex Drain. How are we doing in the chat? Any questiones?
No, not really.
Okay. Shoot whatever questions you have our way throughout the rest of the game. This is Drain starting to feel a little bit like the Florida game did in this tournament last year, where it was a 2-0 game that had a couple of quick bursts of offense for the Gators and then basically turned into a pitcher's duel the rest of the way, and that was Megan Bobian's debut there.
It was her second game. It was
her second game, that's right. She had the...
She started against Georgia State.
Yeah, the Georgia State before that. The first big start.
Yeah, that Florida game was a little different because you had the pitching change, and Ocasio was a lot stronger than we've seen from McQuillan. McQuillan's been very good, but Ocasio was dominant there down the stretch. Have to see how Michigan responds after a very quick inning there in the 4th. They've got 9 outs to try and produce at least 2 runs.
Well, they will have Hoganrod, Alexander, and Bumpdo up here in the bottom of the 5th. It was a quick 1-2-3 inning in the last inning for Taylor McQuillan. She is well rested. She only threw 11 pitches in the bottom of the 4th. 2 swinging strikeouts and a pop-out. As Bonnie Thole will have some words there with Haley Hoganrod before she steps into the batter's box. Alexander stretching in the on-deck circle. Can the Wolverines bust through here in the 5th? McQuillan's been a toughie all afternoon. And looks like Hutch might have thrown in some kind of change there as home plate umpire Liz Hammerschmidt heads back behind home plate with her scorebook changed in some way, so maybe a planned pinch hitter coming up.
I don't see anything because Alexander's in the on deck and Bump's got her helmet on.
Yeah, not sure what we had there, but if we figure it out, we'll tell you. Nonetheless, Haley Hoganrod in to open up the top of the 5th. First pitch, called strike, hard of the plate, right down Broadway.
Well, it's all about, for Michigan, just timing these up and getting out in front of the hit, getting strong contact.
The 0-1. That one misses low and at the shin level there for 1-1 inside. Just over hair over 60 pitches now on the afternoon.
Yeah, she had a quick 4th.
As Taylor McQuillan delivers the 1-1. That one is hit hard, shot down the line, foul. Got a good piece of it, just needed to straighten it out there.
That was the best contact we've seen all day.
Perhaps a good sign. But the count now 1-2, so Hoganrod going to have to protect here. As that back foot right on the back line of the batter's box as the 1-2 comes in, called strike 3 on the outside. Got her with the fastball, and that's a backwards K there for Taylor McQuillan. Boy, oh boy. She is very good.
Hoganrod struck out looking earlier in the first game, so
They'll bring up Taylor Bump, who struck out swinging in her first at bat in the second. As she swings at the first pitch she sees and flies it over, ranging towards the foul line is the second baseman, Karenko, and she makes the grab right on the chalk. And again, moving very quickly here, another pop out in Michigan, already 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
Well, the Wolverines are trying to be aggressive.
There's being aggressive, and then they're swinging at just about whatever you see, and you got to find that medium. As that'll bring up Taylor Bump. Swing and a miss. And that was incorrect, actually. Alexander had a foul out in her first at bat. Bump was the one who struck out back in the second. As she swings on the second pitch, and that's also popped right over to second base, ranging under is Karenko, and that'll do it in the 5th. Fast moving again. Wolverines can't get anything done on Taylor McQuillan here as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Beaubien will be back to work. It's Arizona 2, Michigan nothing. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, about 18 pitches the last 2 innings combined for McQuillan, who has really gotten into a groove, and the Michigan hitters just seem very antsy. They want to swing and they want to hit, but the timing is still not there. It was really never there in the first game against Nestor, and even against the backups.
Due up will be Harper, Mulipola, and Martinez. Again, that heart of the order trying to advance on this already 2-0 lead for Arizona. We've sat this way since the bottom of the 3rd. And that was the last time we really had any kind of offensive opportunities for either side, as things have molded into a pitching duel here down the line. Again, a big thank you to all of you tuning in with us on WCBN Sports here for our coverage of Michigan softball. We'll have you this weekend. We got the rest of the games tomorrow and Sunday. And then we've got next weekend in Raleigh, North Carolina for the ACC Big Ten Championship, or Challenge, I should say. 2 against North Carolina, 2 against Louisville will be on deck for that one. But first, we've got some more action here as we're about ready to get going in the bottom of the 5th. The first pitch is hit hard over towards left field. Lexi Blair ranging under it and makes the grab. That was a hard hit ball there by Jessie Harper, but 1 pitch, 1 out.
Oh, Beaubien's been very strong since she came into the game after a very shaky Alex Sirocco.
And that will bring up Deja Mulipola with 1 out and the base is empty. First pitch misses low for ball 1. Beaubien pretty efficient so far since she's come in relief. She hasn't even hit 25 pitches yet after she threw 4 innings of the first game. The 1-0. That one's hit hard right back up the gut, and finally that hard contact finds its way into play. And that is a base knock there for Deja Mulipola. Skipped right over the second base bag and into center field. And that'll bring up Malia Martinez.
Looks like the USF Bulls baseball team has taken the field over in the baseball stadium, doing some batting practice over there.
First pitch to Martinez, misses inside, ball 1. Beaubien with the 1-0. Called strike, catches the outside. 1-1 with the fastball there. Malia Martinez has been stranded on base twice so far in this game, 2 walks. So technically she's 0 for 0. The 1-1. She hits that one hard, same spot that Mulipola did, right back up the middle. Back-to-back identical base knocks for Arizona, and they've got runners now on first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Now that's been the easiest position for them to hit, is just straight up the middle. Beaubien catches too much of the plate.
And that will bring up Riley Pierce. First pitch to Pierce, catches the outside edge for a called strike.
Pierce had a walk and then the double play in the third.
And the 0-1, another called strike over the plate, now 0-2 on Riley Pierce.
There's the off speed there from Beaubien, and now she has a chance to try to get a big strikeout, an inch closer to getting out of the inning.
The 0-2 pitch, check swing, that one was low. Evaded Alexander's glove but kept it in front of her. She jumps up to make sure nobody's moving. And that'll be 1-2 as the check was not close to going around. Beaubien checking the wristband here. Kicks back, leans forward and delivers. The 1-2 is up high, now 2-2. One out here in the inning. Arizona leads this one by a score of 2-0 in the bottom of the fifth. As the 2-2 pitch comes in just low.
Yeah, that's
Full
a tough
count.
one.
3-2. Good location there, just didn't hit.
She had a lot of options in an 0-2 count, now more back against the wall in a full count.
Beaubien on the full count pitch, looking back over to Jennifer Brundage, getting a sign of 4-4-4 to look back to the wristband, and she delivers, and that one's a hot shot over towards right field. Hoganrod makes the grab, diving. She throws it into the cutoff at Canfield. Holy Hoganrod ×2. Another big grab by Haley out in right field.
Now this is a team that prides itself on the defense, and it's come up big a couple times in this game. We had the Canfield heads-up play on the double play, and now two excellent plays from Hoganrod.
How about that 3-2 out there in right drain?
She's been very, very good today.
That just saved at least one run, probably two, for Michigan.
Now Carol Hutchins talking about how to limit the hard contact, which was not really there at all in the first two innings, and now has been a bit of an issue here in the bottom of the fifth.
Wowza! Just fantastic defensive effort there. Haley Hoganrod has done a lot to also individually try and keep Michigan in this game. As the conference has now concluded in the circle with Beaubien dapping up Katie Alexander, and she'll head back behind the plate. And that brings Edie Orr to the plate. As Edie Orr takes a big cut way out in front of that first pitch as it had the floor fall right out from underneath it on the drop, 0-1. Beaubien kicking with the 0-1. That one just misses inside. 1-1. Sun still slowly setting here on a beautiful night in Tampa at a pretty much full USF softball stadium here. The 1-1 pitch. Half-hearted, thought about checking. That one bounced up in the dirt, gathered in by Alexander. It's 2-1. And a quick appeal regardless. The catcher, Alexander, didn't ask for it, but Liz Hammerschmidt went down to first anyways. It is a confirmed ball, 2-1.
Well, Edie Orr has been good for ending the inning twice before, trying to be the third time for Michigan.
That one a hard shot, bouncing down the third base side, foul past the extended glove of Madison Uden, who herself had a fantastic grab over there earlier in the game. Over at the hot corner. Two and two, two outs, two runners on here in the bottom of the fifth as the pitch comes in and misses high and outside on Hillary Edie Orr. And now 3-2. Beaubien nearing 40 pitches here in her relief outing. And she's got a payoff pitch coming up. Checks the wristband. Winds. Delivers to Edie Orr. Shot grounded over towards Uden at third. Quick handle, and the toss over to Bump is in time. So the Wildcats put two on, but they do nothing with them. Our score remains Arizona 2, Michigan nothing as we head to the top of the 6th. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage here on WCBN Sports, the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, for all we've heard about Michigan's issues with runners on, Arizona just 2 for 12 with runners on and 0 for 5 now with runners in scoring position. They have not been very good in terms of breaking this game open when they had opportunities to do so, and as a result, Michigan's still hanging around. They have been sat down quietly by McQuillan the last 2 innings, but it only takes 2 hitters to work your way back into this game.
Yep, we're going to have some big Hogan Rod praise on the defensive side when we record East of the Rockies coming up this week. For those of you new to WCBN, East of the Rockies is our official Michigan softball podcast that comes every single week. We do wrap up with the previous weekend, preview of the next. We get player interviews every week in there. We have a lot of fun. Me, Drain, Morris Fabry, Kevin Klein, and relatively new member Lucas Vargas all hanging around doing fun stuff.
Well, we got a question now for the mid-inning. Who have you been impressed by so far since you're seeing the game live?
Well, I think I just told you a little bit. Probably my biggest show of the hand is Hogan Rod defensively, but there's not been a whole lot to rave about offensively for this team. I'm trying to think back to anything all that impressive. I mean, the opening at bat of this game for Natalie Peters was one of the better at bats, and it resulted in a walk after, I believe, a 7-pitch at bat. So that was pretty impressive. But overall, it's really been Starocco was fantastic to close out game 1. Hit some rough spots here to be expected for a true freshman against a top 10 team in the country. And other than that, I don't know, Jay. You got anything to add in there?
Madison Uden's had a pretty good couple games. The defense as a whole, with the exception of the Rodriguez error and then the tough Lexi Blair break, the defense has been as good as advertised.
9-1-2, Rodriguez, Peters, and Blair. As Rodriguez is in the batter's box here to open up the top of the 6th. She takes the first pitch for ball 1.
Rodriguez would be a good one to get on base. We saw Michigan try to have Blair steal earlier and got caught.
And the 1-0 misses outside, 2-0. Trying to frame that one there was Muli Pola. Couldn't bring it back in close enough without giving her hand away.
See if Rodriguez goes back to the slap after she was pretty much exclusively swinging from a solid stance earlier.
The 2-0, big golf foul back towards the parking lot. 2-1.
No runs on 1 hit for Michigan with a pair of walks. 2 runs on 6 hits for Arizona.
2-1. Then she drops the bunt. It's down, making the play over towards first. Not in time. The ball's thrown into right field. Charging in was the first baseman, Pierce. She tried to get it to Karen Coe. Had the throw been on target, it would have been an out, but it escapes the glove of Karen Coe and rolls out into Edie Orr in right.
That was going to be a very tough play, though. If the throw is on target, it's an out, but there is a degree of difficulty to that throw, turning around.
Yeah, now that I look at it, that's not Edie Orr out in right, so there must have been some defensive changes here for Arizona. We'll get those for you in just a moment. First and second remain unchanged. Either way, the bunt drops down. Rodriguez is on to start the inning. A good sign here with Natalie Peters now up to bat. As Peters swings, first pitch, drops into center field, base hit. Something might be moving here, Drain.
Well, these are not the big hitters in the Michigan lineup, but they've gotten now back-to-back hits using the speed. And, I mean, Peters has had a really good game, or a pair of games today. Yes, she got helped by a couple of hit-by-pitches in the first round, but she also had a walk and then a good walk earlier and now a single. It's been a very solid day of softball for the senior captain of the Wolverines, Natalie Peters.
Getting close to 70 pitches on the afternoon now is Taylor McQuillan, and there will be a meeting with one of the Arizona assistants out here in the circle. Looks like she is going to stay in the game, just having a quick word with her infield.
Since it is a 2-0 Arizona lead, the runners on first and second mean that the tying runs are on with Canfield and some of the other hitters lined up.
Be interested to see what Lexi Blair decides to do here when she comes up. We know she's got the speed. See if maybe she tries to drop the bunt. The outside infield is shaded in pretty close, about 4 steps off each of their respective bags. As she swings at the first pitch, that's a hard shot towards right. Ranging back to the track, caught at the track. Runners will advance on the throw. At least Rodriguez will. Peters will get chased back to first. So instead of advancing with the bunt, instead it's a hard shot that got all the way back to the warning track off of Lexi Blair.
And Lexi Blair is not a power hitter by any stretch of the imagination. So Michigan starting to perhaps get their timing down on these pitches from McQuillan.
And that will bring up Faith Canfield in the biggest opportunity she's had so far today. A big run standing on third, tying run standing on first. Michigan's down 2 here in the top of the 6th. The first pitch to Canfield, hard shot, that one drops left field, it'll bring a run around. Rodriguez crosses home plate. Moving over to second is Peters, and Canfield is off the schneid. An RBI single brings in the first run of the game for the Wolverines. Well, and Drain, don't look now, but they've got life here in the 6th.
Now it's starting to kind of get danger zone time for Arizona, because the big sign is it's 3 straight hitters who have swung and made hard contact on the first pitch off McQuillan. And Subject steps in, she hits a bouncer, gonna try for a double play, not gonna get it. Be a fielder's choice at second, a 4-6 put out, but now the tying run just 90 feet away for Madison Uden, who had a single off McQuillan earlier.
Big opportunity again still here.
Scored 2-1 Arizona over Michigan as the Wolverines have put up a digit on the board.
As Peters standing on third. Pop shot from Uden. That should probably do it here. Ranging over is the shortstop and grabbing it, Harper. Wolverines did get 1 back here. The first run of the game off the RBI single from Faith Canfield gets them within a run. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's number 7 Arizona 2, number 16-18 Michigan 1. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage here on WCBN Sports, the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. Big inning, Drain. It moved fast, but a big inning.
Yeah, maybe a little too aggressive there from Uden, but seeing pitches she knows she can hit, definitely taking her chances. And if Beaubien can hold the line for 1 more half inning, it'll let some bigger hitters, Hogan, Rod, Alexander, Bump, all 3 with plenty of power, get 1 last shot to try and tie the game.
And it's going to be the bottom of the order due up here. Heading back towards the top for Arizona, it'll be 8-9-1, Pacho, Davis, and Palomino Cardoza. As Megan Beaubien will try and keep them off the board, and the Wolverines will be back to their last 3 outs in the top of the 7th to try and tie this one up or take the lead. That moved so fast, I had to go back and catch up on my scorebook.
Yeah.
Everything moving at lightning speed there for the Wolverines.
Well, the game started at just about 4 o'clock, and approaching 5:30, we are in the bottom of the 6th.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter here, Drain. Try and figure out who that is here real quick.
Number 4 is Carly Campbell.
Carly Campbell, indeed. Last season, Carly Campbell started 49 of Arizona's 52 games. She was a 300 hitter. Not a power hitter, but trying to get her on base here. No home runs last year. A rarity in the Arizona lineup. She's a slap hitter, runs up, takes the first one, a called strike. Pinch hitting here for Izzy Pacho. As Beaubien readies the 0-1. Again, a run up, a swing and a miss. 0-2 on Carly Campbell. And the 0-2 misses outside. The ball 1, it bounces off the glove of Katie Alexander. This is about to be Beaubien's 40th pitch in relief. As she delivers the 1-2. Slapped foul on the third base side. Just staying alive there is Campbell.
Yeah, way late on that swing.
Standing all the way at the back of the batter's box is Campbell. The 1-2 comes inside. She turns away from it as it goes well inside, 2-2. Bobian kicks and delivers, just missing low. That was a pretty well-placed pitch there, Drain.
Yeah.
Hair low, hair outside maybe. 3-2 now, full count. After going up 0-2, Campbell's fought back.
It's happened a couple times today where Bobian's gotten ahead 0-2 and used all of her pitches now to get to a full count.
And the payoff, that one grounded over towards Natalia Rodriguez. She makes the throw over the first in time. Sure-handed out there so far in this game has been Rodriguez. And that'll be out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, that's the value of Nat Rod's defense. Been very strong, a total defensive effort for Michigan to keep them within 1 run. And we have another pinch hitter. It's going to be Hannah Martinez.
Yep.
Martinez only had 2 at-bats last season.
She fouls the first pitch back, 0-1. The other Martinez on this team, next to Malia Martinez, who started this game. She is pinch hitting for Ivy Davis as the 0-1 comes. Trying to bunt as that one goes up off the bat awkwardly and back to the backstop. Did make contact, so it's 0-2.
Bobian back ahead 0-2.
On Hannah Martinez, the pinch hitter. And called strike 3 on the breaking ball.
Yeah.
Bobian took a load off through the breaker and got a called strike 3 as Hannah Martinez watched it go by. 2 down now here in the bottom of the 6th. Get the feeling that Michigan's got a little momentum here maybe now.
Yeah, Bobian's starting to pitch pretty confidently.
And that'll bring up Alyssa Palomino Cardoza. The first pitch goes up high over the letters for ball 1.
She hit the missile to Uden her last time up. She's made hard contact every single time. Homer, single, and a line out.
And the 1-0. Takes that breaking ball again as it floats right over the plate for a called strike 1. The count now 1-1 on Palomino Cardoza.
Don't know the splits on Palomino Cardoza, but it is a lefty-on-lefty matchup as opposed to the lefty-righty matchup when Storako was in the circle.
The 1-1. That one chopped right back to Bobian. Quick underhand toss over to Taylor Bump, and that'll do it for Arizona. 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, quick inning. Bobian did exactly what she needed to do, and now the Let's Go Blue chant starting, trying to will Michigan to get one last run. Arizona clinging to a 2-1 lead. We'll see if it is Taylor McQuillan coming out for one last inning.
I've got Hoganrod, Alexander, and Bump due up here regarding with any pitching changes or pinch hitters that may occur, I should say.
Yep, it is McQuillan back into the circle. This is where you get a little uncomfortable if you're Arizona because, again, the last 4 hitters of the 6th inning for Michigan, actually 5 hitters for Michigan in that last half inning, swung on the first pitch, and majority of them got very strong contact after looking to be free swinging and trying to connect. Michigan was finally lining them up a bit better.
Well, she's able to get him 1-2-3. Taylor McQuillan will have herself a complete game 4 hitter, having only given up 1 run. But last inning of work offensively for Michigan, like we said, it seemed like those bats were maybe starting to time something up on her. A lot of good contact. The RBI single from Faith Canfield, the 1 run on the board for Michigan. It is 2-1 Arizona as we head to Michigan's final 3 outs here in the top of the 7th, unless they can get something going.
And Hoganrod 4 homers, Alexander 5 homers, and Bump was a power hitter in high school. So this is really the most powerful part of the order. the folks that can change the bat on one swing if they make good contacts. These are who Michigan wants to be facing McQuillan down 1 run.
Going all in on McQuillan in this game, so she likely will not pitch in Arizona's next game, seeing as she's over 75 pitches now almost on the night. First pitch to Hoganrod is a shot foul down the line into the bullpen on the first base side.
Yeah, there you go. Hoganrod once again swinging on the first pitch, not able to put it in play. She's a bit of a free swinger, struck out in her last at-bat.
The 0-1, Hoganrod takes a shot towards center field, tracking back to the wall, and the grab is made.
Yeah, that was a good contact there.
Really good contact. Palomino Cardoza about 3 steps shy of the wall in center field. Makes the grab for out number 1.
And now we are going to have a pinch hitter for Katie Alexander. It's Gianna Carasoni, who in high school seemed to have more power than Alexander does. Taylor Bump going to say something to Carasoni.
A big opportunity to make a wave here. Carasoni steps into the batter's box now, kicks the dirt. Back foot even with the point on home plate. First pitch, big swing and a miss.
Yeah, she's ready to swing.
0-1. Speed pitch number 75 for McQuillan.
A lot shorter at bats in the second half of this game.
The 0-1. That one a foul back behind home plate. She took off as though she put it in play there. Threw the bat aside.
Carasoni, a native of Las Vegas, Nevada.
0-2 the count. Michigan down to their last 2 outs here. Down 2-1 to the number 7 team in the country, Arizona. As McQuillan winds and delivers. That one again fouled back out of play towards the fans on the first base side, standing behind the nice placed seats there.
Well, if she was inserted for raw power, we've been seeing it on these foul balls. Really good contact and going quite far.
Carasoni 0-2 as McQuillan again trying to put the caps on a complete game, 1-run performance. As she delivers another 0-2 pitch. That one again fouled out of play, and Carasoni alive. Fighting for it here.
Carasoni really battling. McQuillan's putting everything over the plate. If she can just square one up, she's got the power to hit it out.
Another 0-2 pitch. That one a swing and a miss. She finally digged down low into the zone, and Carasoni up over top of it, and that'll be out number 2.
And now we've got an odd pinch hitting decision. It's Mackenzie Nemitz hitting for Taylor Bump.
Number 44 has not seen a whole lot of plate time in her Michigan career, Drain, and she will represent the last out of the game here for the Maize and Blue. As you said, interesting decision here. We'll see. The first pitch. Ball misses low. 1-0.
Well, Nemitz did not see any playing time in 2017. She has a total of 5 at-bats in her career.
The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Coming up will be the 80th pitch for Taylor McQuillan. The 1-1. Another swing and a miss. Again, can't just catch up to that speed. 1-2 the count now with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Wolverines down 2-1 to Arizona. Final strike. The 1-2. That a shot over towards right center, tracking over and making the grab in right is Edior to end the game.
That's really good contact in this half inning, hitting it out towards the track for both Hoganrod and Nemitz, but not quite enough for Michigan here in game number 2. They dropped Arizona 2-1.
And that is it for the day for Michigan. A hard-fought game. Again, the runs coming on a leadoff home run in the bottom of the first for Arizona from Alyssa Palomino Cardoza. Another run coming in the third off of a double play fielder's choice. And then Michigan's lone run coming on an RBI single off the bat of Faith Canfield in the top of the 6th. So a game with a lot of opportunities, but both teams left some begging. Michigan 4 hits, Arizona 6 hits in all, no errors for either side. And now Michigan will regroup knowing that they played a one-run game against a fantastic Arizona team.
Yeah, this is a game that I think Michigan looked like they belonged in terms of competing with Arizona. They played overall a pretty solid day of softball. Lessons to be learned going into Florida tomorrow. I think the big takeaway from today is Michigan's got to find a way to generate power, because they had 4 hits off McQuillan along with 2 walks, and it really wasn't a RISP issue, so to speak, as much as it was that their hits are all singles. And it's tough to score runs when you're only hitting singles.
But again, a confidence booster perhaps, a lot more experience out there against top-tier competition for some of these young players. And like you said, Michigan seemed like they belonged in this game. And that is going to be a really big booster for this team heading into another big matchup in the first game tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. against Florida, right back here on WCBN Sports.
I think you're probably going to see Bobian starting the Florida game, would be my guess.
And I talked to Florida's radio crew here right before this game started. They're expecting for Barnhill to pitch this game tonight, and then probably you'll see Lugo for Florida tomorrow morning against the Wolverines. So we will see how that all shakes out, but that's what it seems to be to us right now.
Yeah, Michigan got some experience for Storako in big games. They broke into the season, got the win they were supposed to get against North Carolina State, and they get an opportunity to score a high-quality win tomorrow against Florida, and even if they can't, a very respectable USF team awaits in the afternoon. So it's going to be another tough day at the office for Michigan, but certainly things to build on early in the season. Storako takes the loss, and she gets both decisions today, 1-1. Arizona 2 runs on 6 hits. Michigan 1 run on 4 hits. Arizona leaves 8 on base. Michigan leaves 4 on, no errors. Michigan 1-1. Arizona 1-0 after this contest. Any last thoughts?
No, I think that's about it for us today, Drain. I think, again, Michigan, like you said, just needs to figure out how to get some power and start chaining those hits up together. And this is a team that could be a force to be reckoned with here tomorrow morning against Florida. But tonight they'll go home, regroup, and like I said, they'll know that they played a one-run game against a really good Arizona team. And again, thank you to all of you tuning in with us on WCBN Sports. We appreciate your listenership along the way here on the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. here on youtube.com/WCBN Sports and on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor in Southeast Michigan. But until then, for Alex Drain, I'm Jeremy Parks. Again, your final score here from the USF Softball Stadium, Arizona 2, Michigan 1. We'll leave you from now with a good night and a Go Blue.